Hi everyone, I'm Autumn Neoma, and I'm an author, artist, and possibly a vampire depending on who you ask. The art in the background is from my webcomic Chimera Cutie, which you can read for free on Webtoon and Tabas. And if you want early updates and more, I post all of that over on Patreon. Links are down below in the description. So, your webcomic is going to fail, and here's why. I know that sounds harsh, but trust me, my first webcomic failed so spectacularly that the universe practically gave me a refund. Today, I'm going to talk about why a lot of first webcomics fail, and using mine as an example, why it fell apart, what I learned, and how I'm using all of that to make sure my current webcomic doesn't go down in flames. So let's rewind to my very first webcomic, Love Bites. It was a supernatural vampire werewolf romance, which is extremely on brand for me. Love Bites was my baby. It had characters I adored, world building I put way too much time into, and a plot that was way too ambitious for a first project. Like, this should have been 3 different comics levels of ambitious. My first mistake? I wrote a script without planning how many pages it would take. I just started drawing pages and I thought, I'll figure it out as I go. Spoiler alert, I did not figure it out as I went along. To make things worse, a Webtoon original with the exact same name came out 2 years after mine, and suddenly my comic was being mistaken for theirs constantly. No hate to them at all, but for me, as a smaller creator, it was really discouraging. Combined with burnout and a handful of other issues, I ended up stopping Love Bites. So here's the truth. Love Bites didn't fail because the idea was bad. It failed because I approached it in the worst possible way. I had no idea how long a webcomic took. I thought, oh yeah, 50, 100 pages? Easy. Not realizing that each page is basically a full illustration. There's thumbnails and sketches and line art, shading, lettering, the whole works. Doing one page took hours, sometimes days, and I was juggling all of that with a full-time job, burnout, and zero production pipeline. I didn't start with simple updates. I didn't build consistency or habits. I just dove straight into a huge dramatic storyline with lore drops and flashbacks, and meanwhile, I hadn't even learned how to pace a 4-panel sequence. Love Bites was basically me going, I know the destination, I have no idea how to get there, but let's just drive anyway. That is like giving a person without a driver's license a car. That is putting a toddler in the front of a car and telling them to learn how to drive. And eventually, the comic just stopped being fun for me. It became a chore, and the moment it became a chore, I lost motivation. Updates slowed, and it just eventually stopped. Now, I'm not saying you can't jump into a big project. I certainly thought I could, but for me, Love Bites became a giant learning experience. I wanted to rewrite it, I wanted to revamp it, pun absolutely intended. I was too burned out to even think about doing that. And by the time I came back to doing webcomics again, the Webtoon original under the same name had completely overshadowed my title. And people confused our webcomics constantly, and that sucked. I felt like I failed as a creator, and I thought if my first webcomic didn't take off, maybe I'm just not cut out for this. That's not true. I wasn't failing, I was learning. So my first lesson, start with something simple, self-contained, manageable, aka 4-panel comics. That was my answer, at least. They were short, self-contained, manageable, and actually compatible with a full-time job and wouldn't kill my mental health at the same time. Lesson 2. Outlining and pre-production will save your sanity. If you know the beats ahead of time, you stop running into brick walls every page. Lesson 3. Your first webcomic should not be your magnum opus. It should let you build skills, confidence, an audience, and a workflow. Lesson 4. Make it fun again. If it stops being fun, you will stop updating. Your comic shouldn't feel like a homework assignment. It should be something that you love coming back to again and again, because you're going to be working on this for a long time. And lesson 5, build a sustainable pipeline. For my current webcomic, Chimera Cutie, I'm using reusable assets. I'm sticking to really simple backgrounds. I have more consistent panel layouts, so I'm not doing anything super crazy with the panels. And I have a realistic update schedule that I can do without burning myself out completely. And here's how I'm applying all of that to my current project. The story is a lot smaller. Updates are most of the time 4 panels because they're quicker to draw. And I built a really big backlog of pages before even launching the comic. I prioritized character moments, aka slice of life stuff, over giant plot arcs. And my production pipeline is a lot more simplified and sustainable thanks to these things. And most importantly, this new comic is actually something I want to draw every week. So when I say your webcomic will fail, what I really mean is your webcomic will fail if you make the same mistakes I did. But if you start small, you plan ahead, keep it fun, and give yourself room to learn, it won't fail. You'll grow, you'll improve, and eventually you'll make the story you've always wanted to make. Just gotta give it baby steps. Thank you for watching. If you want more videos like this or just more stuff about my webcomic, feel free to subscribe. And also tell me in the comments, what was your first webcomic idea and what happened to your webcomic? And thanks so much for staying until the end. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you want to learn more about the characters in the video, you can read my webcomic for free on Webtoon and Tapas. You can also support the comic by joining my Patreon. Links to everything are in the description. See y'all later!